Let's do a fun history exercise. Go look at the stock price of any major AI company. Now look at their actual profits, not what you expected, right? The gap between what these companies are worth and what they actually make is so absurd it would be funny if it wasn't your retirement account getting burned in the process. We're watching the exact same movie we watched in 1999, except this time the soundtrack is, look, it can write code. Instead of this website will revolutionize pet food delivery. And just like last time, everyone knows it's insane, but nobody wants to be the one holding cash when their neighbor is up 47% on a company that's never turned a profit. Right now, the combined market cap of the top 10 AI-focused companies is sitting around $8 trillion. Their combined annual profit, about $180 billion. That's a price-to-earnings ratio of roughly 44. For context, the historical average PE for the S&P 500 is around 16. If you take away 3 companies that actually make money, that ratio skyrockets to somewhere north of 200. We're valuing these companies like they've already conquered the world, and then most of them are still trying to figure out how to not lose $2 billion a quarter. This may sound familiar to you. In March of 2000, the Nasdaq hit a PE ratio of 175 before collapsing 78% over the next 2.5 years. Revolutionary technology, endless growth potential. This time is different. You don't understand the new sample. Then reality showed up and hit with a baseball bat. AI companies are in a cash burn arms race. They're spending $10 billion to $15 billion per year on compute infrastructure just to stay competitive. Revenue growth is real, but it's being completely swallowed by infrastructure costs. OpenAI reportedly went through $5 billion in 2024 while generating maybe $3.4 billion in revenue. That's not a profitable business. Google, Microsoft, Meta, and Amazon are collectively spending over $200 billion per year on AI infrastructure. If any one of them stops spending, they fall behind. So they all keep spending, costs keep escalating, and profits keep not materializing. This is a classic Red Queen race. You have to run faster and faster just to stay in place. Except that in this version, you're running on a treadmill made of burning cash. Here's where it gets you psychologically. AI does actually work. ChatGPT can write emails, code, marketing copy. These tools have real value. So investors look at that utility and forecast it into infinite revenue growth, completely ignoring that utility. And profitability are two very different things. Pets.com had utility too. People wanted pet food delivered. The problem was that the unit economics were disastrous, and the business model was lose money on every sale but make it up in volume. Meet Sarah. She works in marketing, uses ChatGPT every day, loves it. So she buys $10,000 worth of AI stock because I use it, so obviously it's going to the moon. Sarah has just confused product adoption with profitable business model. This is the same logic that made people buy Uber stock because I use Uber all the time, while ignoring that Uber lost $8.5 billion between 2014 and 2017. Usage does not equal profit. Hype does not equal fundamentals. The AI market is currently pricing in roughly $3 trillion in future profits that don't exist yet. Wall Street analysts are building models that assume AI will add $15 trillion to global GDP by 2030, and every company will capture their share. That's not analysis. That's fan fiction. And before you say, but this time really is different, yes, it is. So was the internet, and electricity, and railroads. Every single one triggered a massive speculative bubble where most early companies went to zero even though the technology itself was world-changing. The railroad boom of the 1840s saw over 6,000 miles of track laid in Britain in 3 years. Revolutionary technology. And most railroad companies went bankrupt because they overbuilt, overspent, and under-earned. The technology won. The investors lost. That seems to be the pattern. The technology succeeds. The early investors get obliterated, and the real money is made by whoever survives the shakeout. Here's what happens next. Phase 1. The hype plateau. We're here now. Valuations are stupid high, everyone knows it, but momentum keeps pushing prices up. Phase 2. The crack. One major AI company badly misses earnings and breaks the narrative. Phase 3. The reassessment. Analysts start asking uncomfortable questions about path to profitability. Phase 4. The flush. Retail panic sells at the bottom. AI-focused ETFs get cut in half. Phase 5. The recovery. 3 years later, companies that built profitable businesses grow again at reasonable valuations. We've seen this with railroads, internet stocks, solar, 3D printing, blockchain, and now AI. The technology is always real. The hype is always excessive. The crash is always brutal. So here's your practical framework. 1. Separate technology from investment. AI is transformative. That doesn't mean every AI stock is a good buy at current prices. 2. Look for actual profits, not projected profits. If they're pre-revenue or investing in growth, that's code for losing money. 3. Check the cash burn rate. Burning billions yearly with no path to profitability? You're gambling, not investing. 4. Watch insider selling. When executives dump their stock while telling you it's going to the moon, believe their actions. 5. Take profits before the crash. If you're up 200%, maybe don't hold for 500%. Trees don't grow to the sky. 6. FOMO is not a strategy. If you didn't buy at the bottom, buying at the top won't fix it. Let's be honest, you're probably going to ignore this, because right now AI stocks are still going up. Your friend Kyle is still posting portfolio screenshots. And humans are wired to chase returns, not logic. But in 18 months, this conversation will feel very different. Some of these companies will be trading at 30% of current valuations. The narrative will shift from AI is the future to investors got ahead of themselves. The smart money isn't asking, will there be a crash? They're asking, when does the crash happen, and what do I buy when everything is on sale? That's the actual opportunity. Not riding the bubble and hoping to time the exit perfectly, but waiting for the reset, buying the survivors cheap, and making money on the recovery. Here's the question I want to ask you. Do you think AI stocks are A, a bubble that's going to crash hard in the next 18 months? B, fairly valued because the technology really is that transformative? Or C, a bubble that somehow keeps inflating for another 2 to 3 years before reality kicks in? Drop your answer below, because one of us is about to make a lot of money, and one of us is about to learn a very expensive lesson about the difference between hype and fundamentals.